Farid Hussain, date of birth 15th of March 1954. I come from a village known as Chakaryan. It's about a mile away from Islamgarh. My father's older brother came in 1938 before the partition took place and Pakistan as a country emerged. We were obviously then part of the British Empire. I initially came with my uncle. But it's always very strange, when you leave your homeland and things that you're very familiar with. The apprehension is always there. You're unsure. And you're sad as well because, and particularly kids who grew up with me, since birth, since we were 4 or 5, went to the same school, and then leaving all that behind and getting cut off from that. That's the most painful process. I came to this country in 1968 and I went back in 1972. I was 18, but the expectation was that, I should find a partner and get married while I'm here. Her village was about a mile away from us. We were from the same clan, so she took me around to our family's home and we met. The match was made for us by our parents and I went back in 72. After a year, we got married. My wife came to join me in 1977. I came on my own. She followed me 6 or 7 months later and came to live in Derby. Mainly worked at Celanese. We used to make nylon yarn, if you like. And I was quite happy there, to be honest. I think they paid reasonable salary, but then I took redundancy. I was there from 1975 until 1979. Margaret Thatcher came into power. She said, stand on your own 2 feet or you go. So there was a massive amount of people who were made redundant in Derby and various other places. So I got made redundant in 1979. So I started looking at self-employment. We didn't know anything about catering, but we said, well, we could learn on the job, but it seems like a good idea. Let's open up a little cafe or a restaurant. We ran it for further 2 years. After selling that one, I was on the lookout for something else. I came across an opportunity to acquire a bed and breakfast. So I jumped in. I ran that for 3 years. In 1986, I spotted an opportunity. Social Services Department were offering 3 positions, one for somebody who was from African Caribbean background, one from Pakistani and one from Indian background, to be an advisor to daycare providers on cultural issues. It was a second opportunity for young adults to have another go at education. There was a realization by the councils that all these groups are hugely underrepresented. For example, up until early 1980s, there was hardly any black person working for the local council. The county council seconded me to Leicester Polytechnic to go and qualify as a social worker. And within a month or so, I got a job as a qualified social worker working with children. And then 18 months later, there was a manager's position going at Derby Royal Infirmary. I applied for that and I got that. While I was still at Leicester, one of our local councillors stepped down from the council, which created an opportunity for a by-election. So I put my name in and I was selected, then eventually elected, 1991. And then for the next 30 years, I was doing both. I was doing full-time social work as well as discharging my responsibility as a local councillor. But I took retirement from work in 2014, but carried on as a councillor until May last year. So in total, I'd served on the council for about 28 years. Even before we Indians and Pakistanis started living in this area had a history going back many years of accommodating people from outside. Before we came here, we had a significant number of people who were from Eastern Europe after the war, and now we've got people from Poland, Slovakia, Lithuania, people from Kurdish background, African backgrounds now, the new wave of immigrants. Most of this coexistence is just an understood thing. Deep down, we're all human beings, and we've got to coexist. We've got to learn to live with each other, and the only way you can do that is by respecting other people's way of life. Socially, we are playing a positive role. We can be different and still have a role to play in society. But we can still be part of the whole.